In just about every organization, there's a graveyard of brilliant strategies. I'm talking about beautiful plans, perfectly crafted, that just ended up going absolutely nowhere. So today, we're going to figure out why that happens, and way more importantly, how to build the bridge that finally connects your strategy to real, tangible action. So let's start with the big question. Why do great strategies fail? We've all seen it, right? There's a big meeting, a fancy slide deck gets rolled out, the goals seem crystal clear, and then, fast forward 6 months, and it's like it never even happened. It's a massive frustration, but the reason is surprisingly simple.
And this quote it absolutely nails it. A strategy is basically just a thought bubble, until someone or some team takes on the doing bit. The weak link isn't usually the quality of the idea. It's almost always in that critical handoff from the people who plan it to the people who have to actually build it.
Okay, so let's really dive into this problem. We can call it the great strategy disconnect, because that's exactly what it is. It's this total breakdown in the connection between the grand plan and the day-to-day reality of the people who are supposed to make it happen. This slide just captures that disconnect perfectly. On the left, you've got the plan, the big, ambitious vision, the detailed roadmaps. But on the right, you have the reality for the teams on the ground. Progress stalls. Those so-called clear goals become a source of total confusion, and what you get is a lack of action. Sound familiar? I bet it does.
Okay, so we've laid out the problem, but here's the good news. The fix is surprisingly practical. It's not about writing an even better strategy. It's about shifting our whole focus from thinking to doing, creating the conditions for action to actually happen.
It really all comes down to this idea of getting it done. And just look at the language here. Practical, making sure things happen, pulled together. See, this isn't some abstract high-level theory. This is the nuts and bolts, the actual machinery that turns a plan into something real.
And that is the whole point, right there. The answer isn't spending another month tweaking the strategy document. The answer is building a bridge, a real, sturdy connection between the thinkers and the doers. Because without that bridge, your brilliant plan is just an idea stuck on the far side of a canyon with no way to get across. So, how do we actually build this bridge? Well, the core technique is beautifully simple but incredibly powerful. It's all about proactively giving obstacles a voice. Instead of just waiting for problems to pop up and ruin your day, you go looking for them first. And here's exactly how you do it in 3 simple steps. First, you create a forum. And hey, this is not your typical weekly status meeting. This is a dedicated session, a safe space, with one single purpose: to hunt for problems before they happen. Then step 2, invite the doers. This is absolutely critical. You have to bring in the engineers, the sales reps, the support staff, the people whose daily work is going to change. Their perspective is the one that's always missing from the boardroom. And finally, step 3, surface the blockers. You ask them one simple, powerful question. Looking at this plan, what worries you? What could possibly get in our way?
And when you do this, the whole dynamic just flips on its head. Your team stops being a passive audience for a plan and becomes an active partner in making it a success. You're not waiting for a crisis to react to, you're proactively scanning the road ahead, finding those hidden potholes and landmines that, let's be honest, only the people doing the work can actually see.
All right, let's bring all this home. That disconnect between a great strategy and real action, it's a real thing, for sure, but it is not inevitable. By building that bridge and actually giving a voice to potential obstacles, you can finally put your plan to work. So I want you to make this real for a second. Think about a big strategy your team is working on right now. Who are the doers? Have they ever been asked this question? What are the unspoken obstacles? The budget fears, the clunky old software, the weird internal processes that everybody knows about but nobody is really talking about.
And that really brings us to the most important shift in mindset of all. We often think leadership is about having all the answers and telling people what to do. But as you can see, true execution, the doing part, it doesn't begin with the megaphone, it begins with an open ear. The path from a great idea to a great result is paved with the insights of the people on the ground. The only question left is, are you ready to listen?